Hi, grade twos. Now, readers, I have some breaking news for you today from research scientists. It's not actually news, but we'll pretend it is. So, I have a research bulletin about second grade readers. Researchers have found that the books second graders read often contain language that is used in playful and inventive ways. Second graders who are especially skilled readers pay attention when a writer has used words in special ways because they know those passages require extra thought. And that was it. That's all the bulletin said. And after reading that, I started worrying about, have we been paying attention to those special passages where the author might use inventive language that's sort of interesting or new or playful? And so I was wondering, have we been reading right by those passages and just ignoring them, not even noticing that they were special? So today, I want to teach you that when authors use language in especially inventive and playful ways, it's like they're sort of pulling at the reader's sleeve, sort of trying to get them to notice. And skilled readers notice when an author has done something special, and they think extra hard to make sure they understand what the author is trying to say or show. So we're going to look at the book Owl Moon. We've looked at this book often this year, and we're going to look for ways where the author Jane Yolen used some interesting language. I'll be reading from Owl Moon by Jane Yolen with permission from Scholastic. So readers, earlier this year we read aloud parts of Jane Yolen's book Owl Moon, and we tried to read the book with feeling, picturing the scenes as we read. So you remember it starts, "It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling." So we're going to reread a couple of parts of that book, and this time, if you notice special language, I want you to sort of make a note of it. You can even put up your hand wherever you are. Here I'm going to reread from the middle of the book, when Pa and the narrator are deep in the woods. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited. He looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. Now I'm going to pause my reading there because I wonder if any of you also heard some interesting language there. What I noticed was when Jane Yolen wrote, he looked up as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. And what that made me think about was Pa staring up at the sky, and he's really looking hard at it, just like you might look really hard to understand a map. So he's looking really hard at the sky, and I wonder if he's looking up so hard, looking for clues about where the owl might be. All right, so I paused, I thought about it. I think I understand what Jane Yolen was trying to tell me as a reader. Let's read a bit more from that page. All right, the next part of the story here is the moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo." So I'm going to pause there and go back and reread the part where it says, the moon made his face into a silver mask. That sounds like special language again, so I'm going to think about what might that mean. So if you want, you can even pause the video here and think about what does Jane Yolen mean, and then we'll talk about it in a moment. So when I think about the moon made his face into a silver mask, I think of his face being silver and shiny and really bright and light. And I know that the moon is doing that. So it makes me think that Jane Yolen's trying to show me how brightly lit up his face is. Or she might be trying to tell us how big the moon is that night. The moon was so big and bright that night. And I bet you guys had some great ideas too about what she meant by that. This is the type of work readers do to think about why an author chooses certain words. So to pay special attention to language, I do a few things. First of all, I notice it. Second, I reread it, so I read it again. Third, I recall what's going on in the story right now. And then fourth, I question what is the author trying to show me with this special language. So I ask, why did the author use these particular words? What special meaning do they want me to try to get? So this week in your reading, I want you to be on the lookout for places in your books where the author has used language in ways that almost seem to be pulling at your sleeve, saying, "Notice me." It's a good idea to mark those with a Post-it or a piece of paper and think about them for a bit. Happy reading, 2B. Bye!